Let's go.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Hello.
Ooh, we got Bubble Bibble. We got Lake in here. Grace. I don't think there's too many people. That crazy ER guy.
Yeah. Get ready with the button for him.
And Craig, good to see you. Yeah, there's so much we could talk about, but I figure we'll give a couple minutes, let everybody get in here, and then open up with the good stuff. Yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of meme things going on with Musky and his Doge thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I showed on the thumbnail. I put the latest. There's a couple of them. The latest little icon or avatar or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That's not the official one, but yeah, it's kind of going crazy because it's also the dog is a meme for crypto. Well, it was a meme first, and then it was picked up as crypto coin, and now it's kind of melded into the government thing. Hey, Ziggy, good to see you. We got Tasha in here. Are you going to make me hungry tonight? Probably. We never set off to talk about food, but I don't know. It must be too far from dinner time, and we kind of get hungry. Yeah, there's a lot of plane crashes going on right now, and usually, allegedly,
right?
Yeah, usually what has happened. Being my dad coming through, he says these events come in threes.
Always.
So meaning when out of all those that is happening, you have to look for the main one. You investigate all of them and determine which ones are the cover up and which ones are the smoke screen.
Yeah, red flags.
Yeah, allegedly.
Alleged red flags.
Yeah. Just like you remember 2020 when all these planes and they didn't just fall out of the sky and fall in the woods or anything. They went for cereal companies, baby food companies, and
right,
chicken barns and things like that. One in a year, that's normal, but it was over 100 in a year. I had a spreadsheet of things that, and it wasn't just airplanes. So, but the majority of them was airplanes. But there was lightning striking and weird things happening. Oh, that must be.
It's a little late for that, right? She's earlier.
Well, the bot's just probably kicking in. Yeah, but there was over 100 mysterious things. We'll call it to food, something that had to do with our food. And at the time, we were having issues with stores stocking things and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy that it's only been the 5 years that this has happened, and everybody's back to normal. Everybody's forgot about that stuff, and it's amazing how when something like that happens, they freak out, they get paranoid, and they run to the store and buy carts of water,
Toilet paper.
toilet paper, and hand sanitizer.
Right. And paper towel.
None of that stuff they can eat. So evidently they thought, well, COVID's going to give me the runs, allegedly. So I don't know. Yeah, I just grew up a different way or something. I don't think of it like, oh no, the world's going to end. What do I need? Water and toilet paper. Water's fine, yeah, but again, you should already have water.
Right.
Well, that's not bad.
No, that's actually cheap. I
Yeah.
paid over 8 today for 18 eggs.
Well, Whole Foods is a pretty good store, though, isn't it? It's not
I've never been to one.
because Walmart, their eggs are like $5 or $6. I don't know because I don't buy them because they're very bad eggs. They where they source their eggs from, they are given very bad things to get them to grow faster and spit them eggs out. And I don't want to eat that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Amish place, they raise their eggs, but still they're cheaper for their eggs than going to the grocery store.
Yeah. Okay, Amazon owns Whole Foods.
Oh, does it?
That's what
Yeah,
Ziggy
see,
says.
I'd have to do research and see where they get their eggs from. If you are a member. Oh, okay. Yeah, all we got here is uh, two places where you don't get your eggs from. Well, the cheap ones, um, Walmart and Aldi's. Same thing with the milk. Don't touch the milk at Walmart or Aldi's. It's actually um, instead of using milk, they use water, and then they give it the wood chip stuff. Forget what it's called. It's like a sawdust, but finer. Allegedly. What do you want, cat? Stressed chickens produce green eggs. You mean the inside or the shell? The shell of the eggs. If you look at the chicken's eyelids, you can tell what kind of what color the eggshell is going to be. There's another spot too, but I can't remember where that's at. But
Greenish.
I think I think it's the eyelids. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, and the good is almost an orange color. It's a yellow orange. Okay, let me bring this list over here. And it's amazing how these lists keep changing and whatnot with um, the U.S. aid or wherever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one heck of a gimmick. And I know there's reports out there for other things that they're paying for, um, or I should say, I guess you shouldn't say paying for. um, there's another word that I want to use, but I just don't want. Better not. Anyways, um, this is just some of the latest ones. $50 million to fund, the condoms in Gaza. I find that one $50 million.
You know what they were? They
Oh,
were making. They
yeah,
were
I
blowing
know.
them up and sending ordnance over with them.
Yeah. Well, one of the main things they used to use them for, that came in handy for in Vietnam, was to keep their weapon, their actual weapon, not the other one, from getting wet. um,
Over the muzzle,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well,
I wonder who thought of that. Was the first guy. So you know what? I want to make sure this thing fires. uh,
yeah,
uh,
that's kind
it
of
is
wow.
1.5 million to advance DEI in Siberia's workplace. Why?
Because they can, but they're not getting away with it anymore. That's why they're roaming the streets now.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's going to be, well, there already is investigations going on, and some we won't hear about until they're leaked. Um, because just because they say that money went to there for this and that, doesn't mean that money went to that country or that thing. There's somebody at the other end of that's got that money, more than likely, allegedly.
Allegedly,
Yeah. Uh, and this is a good one in Ireland. 70,000 for the production of a DEI musical in Ireland.
yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. Now, why didn't we hear about this before? Why all of a sudden did it just all this? Oh, guess what? We're paying for this now. And when
Yeah,
I say the government, it's us that are it's paying for it, the
taxpayer.
taxpayers.
But just the way the left is acting, I mean, why would you protest getting rid of wasteful spending? Why
Yeah,
is it such a bad thing? Because they're losing their meal ticket. That's
yeah.
why. There's kickbacks everywhere.
Oh yeah. So oh, to send that over, um, the Department of you know
They say
me,
Department of whatever.
yeah,
Mhm.
has to get 10% of that to send it to you or whatever. And when it gets over there, 15% has to go for this,
Mhm.
which comes back to me again, allegedly.
Allegedly.
$47,000 on trans, you know who's opera in Colombia. Is there operas in Colombia?
How how is that benefiting anybody?
Us,
Well, it
you
should
know,
be us first, right?
yeah. Our problems should come first. We're the ones paying for it. We're the ones
Right.
that are voting for these people.
How about the Americans that are living in the streets, or
Yeah,
the
the
veterans that
veterans.
are down and out, and
Yeah,
why
we
are we
should be
paying
doing
for
more for mental health for those that don't want to, be part of society.
it? Yeah,
Instead of, they want to be on the street, so we'll leave them there. Maybe if you figure out what's wrong with them, well, we know what's wrong, but how to fix it, I'll put it that way.
it,
Because there's so many cases of, I don't know the medical term. It's when your brain hits the inside of your skull from you know explosions and stuff going around you. The thing that football players get, and
you don't know the word, or you don't want to say the word.
I can't remember what the word is.
Concussion.
Well, no, there's another thing that deals with the brain that
Well,
a
like
lot
if
of people.
you're in a boxing ring and you get knocked out, that's just your brain bouncing off the inside of your skull's wall.
Oh yeah, yeah. But um, no, it's not a concussion. It's a medical term for this, and that it's just now starting to come around that it's a, a major issue. The football players that I'm not going to mention their names or anything, that um, deleted people because of their, and then when they die, they cut them, they do tests on their brains, and they have
Yeah.
this thing. But anyway, let's get back to this list. And this is not the big list either. So this is just some of these that have been documented. The other things that have not been documented, we can't really talk about. We all see them and everything, but um, the $32,000 for transgender comic in Peru. Why? Are they that sad that you have to have to make a
I don't,
comic? I
yeah.
don't know if it's a book
A
or
comic? Oh, a comic book or a comic.
that's all it says, just a comic. So I don't know if it's CT a CTE. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I knew somebody would get it. And that's caused from concussions over and over again.
Yeah.
And this is what our soldiers deal with when they're even if they're not in a combat situation. They still do training and stuff that like the artillery,
Oh yeah.
the big ones.
Yeah.
They have they go through this issues with that, just from training, just from
Yeah.
pulling a string and letting it go
Yeah.
off, and the guys that load him up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All those guys around that.
Yeah, you're standing behind that howitzer and open that breech and slam that baby home. That's a concussion back there when that goes off.
Yeah, same thing with the tanks and the Navy guys, and it's not as bad as now than it was, in World War II and whatnot.
Right. Well, they probably didn't know the harm that it does.
Yeah.
They didn't have technology back then, and
Yeah.
one would think if you're I don't know, I couldn't imagine being in a tank in World War II. I know my father was in one in Korea, but
Ugh.
that's, I don't think you're looking for your ear goggles when you're, you know,
Yeah.
when you're dodging ricocheting bullets. So
Yeah, that's the other thing was um, like the guys in the battleships.
oh yeah,
They around where them guns were. The big ones.
right.
Um, they had to repaint those areas because the concussion would peel the paint
Yeah, and
off of every metal part around that. And that's like, just imagine that.
those guys had to wear like a white stocking mask, but it was like, I don't know what material, like a sock, and then they put a helmet over it,
Yeah,
like in the IO class battleships, like the Big Mo, or
yeah.
and
They
those were
had that
right.
pull down thing. Yeah.
Those were 16-inch guns, and when they loaded this and fired them all at the same time, all three, I can't imagine what that sounded like in there.
Well, it's like that the intro 101 plays all the time with the shooting the aliens on
Oh
Battleship.
yeah, yeah. Let's
Yeah,
let's put some lead on this, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, and this one everybody knows about this one, and I think there's a lot more than 37 million to the hoo-hoo. Was this 16 million in funding for institutionalizing contractors in gender development offices? Huh?
Wow.
Instructional contractors in gender development offices. What is that? Whose pocket is that going into?
Question is, whose pocket's it coming out of? Ours,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Um, 4 million of funding for Center for Climate Positive Development.
Wow.
And this 4 million is to put ads on the TV and stuff to make you feel positive about, you know, electric cars and, you know, the windmills in your backyard and solar panels
One big
taking
sigh.
out the trees and
One big sigh.
yeah. Um, and this one's kind of funny. 12 million in support services to Bureau of Resilience, Environment and Food Security. Well, they dropped a ball on that one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just the food security thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that list will get you angry because I've seen
oh
it.
yeah. 6 million in non-emergency funding for redundant administrative supports for the Center of Excellence. Who thought of
Oh man.
this thing? Non-emergency funding for what is, you need $6 million for non-emergency.
Yeah, I got to keep my mouth quiet. Yep.
And why do we, we've always heard, you know, who was it? Oh, the first Bush, his vice
Oh,
president.
Herbert Walker.
Uh,
41 Bush.
yeah, his vice president getting haircuts for like $600 or something like that. The toilet bowl to be replaced was 12,000, or the seat in the office and everything. I'm
Gold plated toilet.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck are they sitting on to take a dump? Does it play music and does it vibrate so everything moves easier? And that was talked about for a while, but some of this stuff I thought back then was, how does he go and gets a haircut every 30 days and it costs $600? What? And now you see this stuff, and the stuff that they're allegedly coming up with, like the Haiti stuff. I can't talk about that, but if you want to see something, go check out some of the stuff that this U.S. aid thing was for that. I do have some of the stuff that is somewhat documented, if I can find it again. But yeah, you can find these lists. Just got to make sure you get them, the ones that are documented. I'll put it that way, because there's a bunch out there that people are just making up, and right. I think a lot of them are being made up by the wrong kind of government to discredit these lists. Because if people are spreading rumors of a certain department or whatever list, and that actually discredits the main list, the one that they are officially documenting.
That's another one of those. Don't look over here. Look over here.
Yeah. And allegedly, there are parts in the government that, hire people to do this kind of stuff. They hire actors to be on the news and do reporting. Whenever a bad thing happens, you notice these people, during the thing that happened in Tennessee with the he said, she said, or whatever she was or he was thing, and something happened in Montana at around the same time. Well, these people in Tennessee was witnesses, or, oh, I knew this person, and yeah, this and that. Well, all of a sudden, a few days later, their witnesses up here in Montana. They just dressed differently and had glasses on. Right. And wait a minute, that's the same person.
They caught him. They caught him doing that, right?
Yeah. And this is, they pay people to do this kind of stuff. It's meant to be a a safety thing to keep people's from going out, going crazy and going to the streets and protesting and stuff like that. But a lot of times when you find something especially in the media, you really have to not jump to the gun. Sometimes it's really hard when you see stuff and it's coming in as things happen. A lot of times it's not hard to go along with it, and sometimes that's what they want.
Yeah.
What is it? 3 million in this is another one. Non-emergency funding to provide evacuation services for planning and learning programs. Non-emergency funding to provide. Okay. 600,000 to fund technical assistance for family planning in Latin America. Well, what about technical assistance for the citizens of the United States?
All right.
Yeah, that the one that gets me out of all that is that big number, that 50 million. What I want to know is, where did they buy these condoms? Do they go up, go to their local Walmart and say, we need all of these? We're sending them over to Gaza. Do they go to the condom makers and say, we need $50 million of condoms?
I don't know. That's beyond. It just shows you the word swamp really is very appropriate.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine that these trucks rolling up and these people are starving over there, because the bad elements within it. But you get all these trucks pulling up, or however they do it. And they start unloading all these trucks, and these people are all grabbing for these boxes and opening it up, and huh? Where's the food? Where's the medicine? What are we going to do with these? Well, just think if, and I can't believe I'm still talking about condoms, but if one of those condoms cost $1 each, that's 50 million condoms. Imagine that many in one area that isn't very big. No, this is serious. This has been documented from the Doge thing, Department of Government or something. I forget what the actual name was. The one that Musk is.
Doge.
Yeah. I would check, but I can't see anything on my YouTube. But I mean, that's the one that really, and I would love to find out, like, who supplied these. Did we buy them here in the United States, or did we buy them somewhere else? Another country, probably. And it seems weird to wonder this stuff, but it seems like something somebody would make up, $50 million for Gaza.
Yeah.
Are they that busy over there? You know what I mean?
Bush, check out Raul Havana in chat. Oh my God.
Yeah. Evidently, she was seen at a Lakers game, and nobody said anything. The announcers didn't say, "Hey, there's so and so down there. No, nobody clapped or anything. They just
Oh, poor Susie
nothing.
D.
Eric,
I
6 pound
know.
herd. You always get the bad ones. Hey there, Jeff. How's it going? Let me see if I can find this. But if you go and look at the Haiti stuff that was supposed to go for aid, look at the money
Follow the money.
that was spent on certain programs. Uh, there's money that was committed to certain things that didn't get dispersed allegedly, and a lot of this stuff the Haiti stuff is still being investigated, so I can't talk about too much of it, but just go in and do some research on it. There's
Actually,
a lot of good information.
actually, it did get dispersed, just not where they said it was going to get
Oh,
dispersed.
yeah.
Right.
Well, see, that's the thing. They'll put it in certain accounts that
Yep.
that make money, if you know what I mean,
Sure.
and say, well, we're holding on to it until we can dispute and give it out and stuff. But 25 million, say
A lot of
2%. How much money is 2% for 5 years in a bank?
Right.
And there are some that are up to 10 and 12%. So you can where's that? Who's getting the interest off of that? If they did it somewhat legally like that, and that's not legally, but we'll say it is allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly today, 1934, Toluca, Mississippi, was the first city to purchase electrical power from the Tennessee Valley. Oh, really? Huh.
Hey, Pappy.
Yeah. That's the one I've been sitting there gawking at. And somebody mentioned something. I can't repeat it, but uh, weddings involved and things like that. I mean, if you dig into it, you'll see it. What the U.S. aid sent $102.2 million to International Medical Corps to provide Gaza with medical services, according to, and this is according to the Associated Press, which
Is allegedly on the up and up.
well, yeah. So 102 million. They should be some healthy people over there. If again, allegedly, and International Medical Corps wrote in a press release that it has received 68, and we'll put 69 million. There's some change in there, but from U.S. aid to support operations in Gaza since October 7th. October 7th in Gaza now, 2023.
Right.
What happened? October 7th, 2023.
Well,
That thing happened that went into Israel and did horrible things. So, who funded that? Allegedly.
right. And why was there no border security like there normally is on that day on Israel's side?
Um, they didn't come in normal routes, and they came in.
Yeah,
There
but you
was
don't
there
see
was,
things
but those
happening.
if you watched there was a show on Paramount Plus, and it showed where because it showed from both sides, cameras from the bad people and the good people, and they came through and took out said guards and stuff. And yeah, I have to use those words so they don't think I'm misinformationing things.
Right. This is all allegedly.
Yeah. What's this? Why don't you have? Um, technically, banners are um, what are they? Reuse. They're actually against the terms of service. That because I didn't know that either until I found when I got demonetized. It was on the list of things that could get you demonetized. Was scrolling text on the bottom of your screen or top. Scrolling banners is on that list, and it didn't help. I
Hmm.
I still get in trouble if I had a banner flashing or not. It's mainly the words that you use when you're talking. So I do have stuff in my description that cover me from links and stuff.
America great again.
BK style, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it.
Cool.
Um, maybe that's what they're using them for. Num 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 num. With the funding, and this is allegedly, and this is from what the USAID says, um, and this is the IMC, which is the International Medical Corps, has been provided the resources to operate two hospitals located in Gaza and provide life saving medical care for civilians in Gaza.
Hmm.
Again, I find it really interesting, and this hasn't been brought up very much um, with the fact that they gave that 68,508 to be exact to support operations in Gaza on October 7th, 2023. And that's just that it's the exact same day the bad stuff happened in Israel that got all this stuff started over there. Um, the fact that is that just a coincidence, or did the check just clear or something? Who knows? I I just went and seen that, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Yep. That's the day, and it seems really suspicious that that money went there on that day. Oh, uh, and there, like I could go through the animal research in South Carolina
Yeah.
for the monkeys, millions and millions of dollars for those monkeys. Now, there has been times when monkeys are used to test, you know, juice and stuff. I can understand some of that stuff, but um, there needs to be like a committee that will go in. And I guess we have one now, but to determine how much money is being used for that, and is any good coming from torturing these monkeys for all these years.
Yeah. Didn't they have a big breakdown there that they got out?
Oh, that happens in up in Boston area too. Remember that one?
Right.
That that was carrying something. That
Someone
was
unlocked. Someone unlocked the cage.
well, it was an accident. They were being transferred from
It was an alleged accident.
yeah,
Right.
and monkeys all over the place. And that's why it amazes me how easy we forget about these things. And I think that's part of that. I hate to say it, we're we've been programmed because ooh, balloon, it's a squirrel thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then all that other stuff we forget about. Oh, there's a balloon, and then you get thousands of people making videos and talking about it, and that spreads it more. Um, it is what it is. I think it has something to do with the
Right. This guy comes out with some good stuff. Nancy likes a dirty martini, and Paul likes a dirty Sanchez with a mug and the face. Dude, how do you think of this stuff? Oh man,
that 15-minute island. Yeah, that would be nice.
Wow,
Let's see.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah, and not to mention all the millions that National Institute of Health got. Um, that were, and I like this because this is their words. Allegedly, they never did any studies on these hormones of monkeys from being injected. I like it. The report actually said allegedly they didn't.
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, in 2023, report highlighted some 150 million in military equipment that was written off after being stored in the open air, and more than 200 billion that federal agencies paid out by mistakes. I wonder what some of those mistakes were. and if they were intentional, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And we're not even talking about the money that everybody knew about that was getting sent to Ukraine.
Oh, that's the money laundering capital of the world.
You just sit there and think of when it was supposed to be aid. It wasn't supposed to be military. The first batch that went over was aid. The majority of the people, they would show these little old ladies, starving and stuff, and they haven't ate for months, and there's no food in the stores. And then the next report comes, all this grocery store was hit by a rocket from Russia. And you look at the damage, all the shelves are completely full of stuff. Wait a minute. Everybody's starving. There's no food. Why did they hit the only store that had food over there? Whoops, we messed that one up, didn't we? Yeah, I like what's her name? The press secretary.
Oh,
Caroline.
Caroline Levitt. She's a gem.
Yeah. She went off on the aid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That the reporter is saying, "Oh, they're shutting down these programs." Oh no, yeah, 1.5 million to advance DEI in Siberia, 70 in the DEI musical in Ireland and stuff like that, and comic books in Peru. Somebody's not going to be able to read a comic book this week. Oh no.
Thank you, Dana.
There's people wondering if their electric bill or their water bill is going to be paid next week in the country that is paying for these comic books to go to Peru,
right,
for DEI training or whatever it is. Do they really need that in Peru?
It's been exposed. The genie's out of the bottle, so there's no going back on any of this. So, the chips are going to fall. And,
but what is going to get us to forget about that stuff? What's the next thing that's going to pop off?
Could be a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Is
the Cowboys could win a Super Bowl? That would be something.
Or a playoff game,
or a T-shirt.
But yeah, it makes you wonder. I mean, if you go back in, most of us grew up in the 80s and 70s and 80s and stuff like that, or Jeff in the 20s. You sit there and think about it. Something major happened, when our hockey team beat the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
That was a year, 2 years. People were talking about that. It wasn't like, they made movies and stuff. They made documentaries and all kinds of stuff, and they still made movies like 30 years later on it.
Mm-hmm. Hollywood can tell you a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing how we hear this stuff, and a week later it's old news and we're off to the next thing and we forget about that stuff. And it's, again, and I fall in this too. We're programmed.
Yeah. You know, when you think about it, though, and I'm not trying to, minimize this what's going on or however vernacular you want to use, but it doesn't. This none of this surprises me. None of it.
No.
None of it. The waste, the corruption. It's abhorrent, and it's not just this country. It's all over.
Yeah.
There's always someone on the receiving end of all this money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I don't like to, say things about other creators or anything, but when we were all worried about, missiles coming over and World War III and everything, you have some YouTubers that can say anything that they want
And get away with it.
and they have a lot of people watching them and they don't get strikes, they don't get warnings, they don't get anything. Who are they working for? Allegedly.
Right.
I'm not saying they are or they're not, but why are they different than little old me that's been shadow banned? I barely get over 100 views on a video now. It's interesting. I'm not saying that's a thing, but when you see people giving interviews in different states, say, "Oh, I knew that shooter, and he was a great guy. I never would have thought he'd done something like that." And then you see him in another state saying the same thing. It's like, wait a minute, how are you? Yeah. And he never would have thought that. And there's been movies about this kind of stuff where they have people in basements somewhere creating stories and creating things. And not too long ago, I supported these YouTubers that were getting harassed and things. And they had tracked down a lot of these people and found out that there was groups of them. And some of the groups were being controlled by allegedly Big Brother.
Mm-hmm.
And these people weren't, saying anything. They wanted to be free. They wanted to grow their own food. They wanted to raise their family and do their own animals and be away from the grid type thing. And is this a way to deter those kind of people or something? I don't know. When you sit there and think about stuff like that, it makes you wonder.
Yeah. Be right back.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them that need to. A lot of them. And I like the fact that Trump is giving them severance pay, saying resign, and it makes you wonder, those that are taking up on these payouts and stuff to resign their jobs, are they signing papers that they won't get in trouble if they get investigated and find out that they were dipping in the till or something. That stuff we might not be able to see, but I wonder, because there are a lot of people taking up on that money to resign. They jumped at it. I think it was 6,000 in the first hour that got paid to quit. But what was the other thing that I wanted to bring up? Oh yeah, the latest thing that came out today was the Doge thing. The team has uncovered $100 billion in Medicare and Medicaid waste after gaining access to the system. That was one of the first things they seen, and now they brought it out today. Well, on Wednesday, I think they said. Yeah. And just think, they've only been doing this. They haven't done it for a month yet. Imagine them doing this for a year. Imagine how much stuff is going to be found in a year. That's going to be the interesting thing right there. A whole year of this. Yeah, I think 101 was in here for a second, and I was going to bring it up, but the pew pew thing, Trump dismantled Biden's control on them, or the actions of, to protect the owners of them. And I was going to see if but I didn't see him type anything else, so I don't know if he wanted to come up or not. I like Trump was asked about the Times, about the cover or something like that, and because Musk was on the cover, and he just shrugged it off, and he says, "Are they still in business? And they still have a company?" Because they're a big fan of Trump. Guy climbed over a fence at the White House. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Never know. Because you remember when there was walls up to where public couldn't see, unless you were high up, see those fences. Hard to say. Oh, And if you guys didn't see today, I put out a video about these knives. Actually, I have one here, which I think this one I'm gonna. Oh, hold on, Jim. Let me click on that. There you are.
Hey, I know you guys were over. My wife always uses the computer between 8 and 9. I thought the show would be on at 9. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
Was what on the show tonight? Wow, oh, knife. Good.
Yeah, and this is a pretty nice knife. I mean,
That would be good for cutting a deer, boy.
Yeah, it's got a nice edge on it and everything. This one, I think I'm going to flip this around because you can flip these around. That way I can put on a belt like this.
Where'd you get those?
Company sent them to me to do a review. OdenWolf. It's a German company.
Never heard of them.
Their knives are not expensive at all.
Yeah, German stuff's usually pretty pricey.
Yeah. In 2026, I thought it was supposed to go on for 6 years though. Or it's scheduled to be voted on or something like that. I don't know.
Are you live now? Dana said hi.
Yeah, I'm live.
Oh, okay. Hey, Dana. I only got the one window open. Yeah, I thought I missed the show. It's
Oh no. Yeah, I think that's just a knife to clean it, or they give you a cloth and everything to clean it off, which I'd probably wouldn't use, but I think I'll use that to clean my glasses.
I got a little knife sharpener like a couple of years ago at Walmart for $20. It's got a stone, it's got metal over it. That thing works great. Because anytime I've shot a deer for butt damage, after like 2 of them, you got to sharpen it. Because you know what really dulls the knives out? The hair.
Oh, yeah.
That hair does it to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see 101's going to go live tonight. I was hoping he'd show up maybe.
Oh, is he going live? I didn't see anything.
I saw that, yeah. I saw that, I think it was around dinner time. I was only on the computer for a little bit. Then I sent you an email because I thought the show would be at 9. Hey, Grace.
I'm not seeing any. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Time will tell.
That's tomorrow, the 8th. Because he said he was going to go live on Saturday, so.
Hey,
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow.
what does everybody think of everything that's coming out? I'm sure you talked about it earlier. All the alleged money going to these entertainers.
Well, that we can't talk about.
Okay.
Because that's not official yet.
Not
It's alleged.
It's being investigated.
Right.
But we know. Yeah.
If some of this alleged stuff is true and people have to or would be found guilty, I know a lot of people that are not going to be able to handle it.
I don't know. We'll have to see because.
Well, we all know how bad it is.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the perp walk. I've been waiting a long time. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I hope it's all broadcasted live on TV. I was disappointed to hear that Fetterman's not going to vote for RFK and Tulsi. He said he's going to vote for Cash, though.
I like the fact that, and I think I said this last week about, because Trump was a supporter of Hillary.
He supported both sides, though. He said that. He gave money to Republicans and Democrats.
He was asked in an interview. I don't know who it was or what, but was said, why don't you support Hillary anymore, or something in that manner. And he says all of her friends end up
Deleted.
Needed a funeral.
yeah. And I've looked for that interview, and it's in the wind somewhere.
Oh, I got big news. I told you in the email. It was a lot to do. I got a True Social account without a cell phone.
Yeah, you don't need a cell phone.
Well, I had to go through customer support.
Really?
Well, I can't get I don't know why I can't get an anonymous phone call. I emailed them yesterday, and I didn't understand all the terminology the guy was using because I'm not the most computer. Because he said underscore, I didn't know what that meant with a name, and I thought the guy. And I sent him all kinds of links to show even my YouTube channel, my website, because he wanted to know where I was located. And I thought the guy thought I was pulling his leg. And then lo and behold, late afternoon, I get an email, and he assigned me a name and a password, and now I can, post if I want to. I'm just looking at people's messages.
Well, I'm surprised you actually talked to a person.
Well,
Right.
no, it was email. Yeah. If you don't have a cell phone like me, and you email their support, they'll help you.
Well, you can get a free phone number from Google.
I tried and I couldn't.
It's all you have to have is everybody has the account. When you have a YouTube account,
Yep.
for texting and stuff, all you got to do is go to your Google page and then and find it in the services and just hit sign up or okay it, and they'll give you a phone number, and you just have to use it once every 30 days.
I'll have to try again. I tried doing that a few years ago when I tried to get a Telegram account. And to get it to work, I had to give him my son's cell phone number. And I don't know what's going on. The last time we cleared the history on Firefox, which is the only way I can get on StreamYard, I couldn't get back into any emails until I called my son up, and he had to get the passcode. I don't know if it's a computer or if it's security with Firefox or Yahoo or Gmail.
Hey, I got a question for Ziggy in chat about Kash Patel. You said they're voting on him. Are they just voting on him to get him out of committee, or is it the full Senate voting now?
I think it's committee.
Yeah, I do too.
Because Dick Durbin was having a fit over that.
He has a fit over everything.
I didn't realize Dick Durbin has some kind of production company in New York City.
They're all dirty.
I think everybody in chat agrees with you.
The committee, okay, that's what I figured. Because the Dems were using their, is it 36 hours or 38 hours of debate time to hold up all of his appointees. Eventually, it's going to happen, though.
Look at like this. Trump hasn't been in office a month. Just think what he can accomplish by the end of summer.
Well, don't forget now, there's midterms in 2 years, so he hit the ground running because, God forbid, they lose a seat or two in the House.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to have a real tough second 2 years of your term, so he's got to get it, get it done now.
He fired a woman that is the secretary of I forget the term. Yeah, and she won't leave unless under the stipulations they have to have just cause. Well, I'm sure he's going to find just cause if they haven't.
Oh, yeah. Another thing to waste more taxpayer money.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Grace. He's got to get everything done in 16 months.
Yep.
Oh,
quite a bit done so far. So Grace is at it again.
Yeah, slapped you with an octopus.
I wonder if is that octopus off of Long Island, or is that the?
Well, I forget who it was now, a Democrat complaining, oh, gas prices hasn't come down yet. Well, it takes time. Crude oil has come down. They said on Fox Business almost 10% since Trump took office. And why weren't they complaining about the price of gas when Biden was in office?
Did you hear the guy with British Columbia? His little announcement. Oh, we're not going to buy anything from United States anymore. Oh no!
They're full of it. I also saw that Germany is thinking of putting military troops in Greenland. They don't want Trump having any military in Greenland.
Maxine is a special lady.
Yeah, it's my.
Oh boy!
Whenever I wear red or blue, the green screen messes with it.
Is her mother still alive? Because she's getting up there in years.
Maxine Waters' mother?
Is she still alive? Because I read something.
I think so, maybe.
Because look how old she is. Maybe her mother had her when she was 12 or 13, maybe. Well, I was reading something that Maxine bought a family member, I don't know if it was her mother, a house allegedly that cost $3.2 million. Where does someone, with the salaries they make in Congress, where do these people get all this money?
Well, I gave a big list of where all the money was going, so part of that is to them. Yeah, like 50 million in condoms.
If we all ran for office and became a congressman, we'd be millionaires in no time. That's
yeah,
a Democrat.
Yeah, that's why all those allegedly juice things passed without getting tested and everything. Or I should say, the scary thing is when they pass things from, instead of going to animal testing, it goes right straight to human testing. That's scary. And I probably shouldn't talk about that stuff. That's the thing. That's the main reason I said nope. I'm not touching that stuff. I just got a alert from Walgreens saying there's an uptick in this and there's an uptick in that. You better go get your thing. No.
Booster.
No, not booster. I haven't had any, so I don't need a booster.
I haven't had a tetanus shot since I was in probably high school.
Oh, I've had a lot of those.
And I've never had tetanus.
I've had a lot of those. I haven't had a tetanus for a while, though. A tetanus shot, that is.
Yeah, the worst thing is to get a childhood disease when you're an adult. I got chickenpox when I was 28, and my wife got it when she was pregnant with our son.
I never had it. Of course, I never got the things when I was a kid. I got the drops, the polio, and I got one shot that I broke the needle off of my arm. And then because when I was a kid, I had a fear of needles, evidently. So
I still don't like them.
So I didn't get them. And I've never had the mumps. I've never had chickenpox or any of the other stuff that they give you for that stuff.
Or measles, probably.
Yeah, none of that stuff.
Well, I remember my parents taking us after church. My sisters had gotten the injection for the vaccine for smallpox, and I guess my age group was getting the sugar cubes. And I remember we went there, and they said they're not doing it anymore because they had to temporarily pull them because of people were coming down with bad reactions from them.
Yeah, I seen a lot of people that got chicken pox get shingles.
Yeah, Mr. Charter, I think I was about 3 years old back when they did that. You know, when their parents tell you you're going to get a vaccination, you know, a 3-year-old kid or whatever, that's very upsetting. Because my dad spelled it out and said they're going to put a needle in your arm, and I started crying. I got the cubes later. I think I may have been 5 or so.
Oh yeah, and here's the other one that I thought that was interesting. Department of Transportation spent $200,000 to encourage people to obey safety rules at railroad crossings. You know what that meant? They put railroad crossing signs up at the railroads. Spent $200,000 on that. I thought that was mandatory, that they were already supposed to be there. So why did we put new ones up? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, look at the stories I've read where a certain department came in and fined businesses because the restroom signs for man or woman weren't up to the government standards. They weren't large enough. The signs were too small.
Where was that one in Egypt? Yeah, 8.6 million to invest in the port city of Esna, Egypt, meant to support tourism jobs there.
Why the heck are we spending money to promote tourism in Egypt?
We've been trying to figure out a lot of these ones that don't make sense.
Well, did you hear how Netanyahu wants Saudi Arabia to take the Palestinians? And you know what I think? I think Iran ought to take them. Iran gives the Palestinians so much money for not nice things. Why don't they take them in?
Yeah.
So Dana's being there, trespassing signs get stolen. Well, I know what happened around here before the election. People that had the Trump signs up, a lot of them disappeared. Where they went, nobody knows.
Oh, yeah. You go out in the country and there's every stop sign's got holes in them. That's a common occurrence.
Then you figure with railroads, I thought like any place there's a train around here, there's not many left, except for like, you know, public transportation. Because there's one line that goes through Woodpayne Township, where they have it. They have the thing that stops the cars. The arms come down.
Yeah.
And the lights flash.
Yeah, as far as I knew, that's been a thing. That's been a law for, I don't know, at least the 90s, that every railroad crossing had to have signs. So why have all of a sudden we paying $200,000 to put signs up again, on top of what they already get paid to do that?
It's just like in Pennsylvania, they have a turnpike commission, And I forget, I heard this on a local radio show, God, a few years ago on 12:10 a.m. by Walter Sterling. He was saying, there's two guys that are the head of the Turnpike Commission. I mean, they may have up to three, where the salary is $750,000 a year. And these guys, they're figureheads. They don't even do anything. It's like the federal employees that work at home. They don't need.
Yeah.
Well, that's no
Well, this means stop.
yeah, that's no different than a city worker. They need 6 of them to change a light bulb out.
Yeah.
You know?
Whenever you see road crew, there's a guy holding a sign, and then there's one person digging and 6 guys watching him.
Yeah.
Well, one each way holding the sign. And around here, I've seen a guy holding the sign and another guy waving the arm to go by. And speaking of turnpikes, they've raised the fees for those in Pennsylvania big time. Our son told us.
Yeah, more than likely, the city or the county was told about that multiple times, and they don't do nothing until somebody gets hurt or happens.
Well, it's just like around here, they have this is federal law. They have the nuclear power plant warning siren, and it's supposed to go off every month, and sometimes it doesn't even go off. The first Monday of the month.
Oh, ours is Wednesday at 12.
For a nuclear power plant.
Not quite yet. It's one of those subjects that, yeah. It's an interesting read, though. It is.
Yeah. You got to let that one marinate for a day.
Yeah. Allegedly, it's,
Got $8 for bridge toll.
$8, jeez.
Wonder what bridge that is, Ziggy. Because I remember decades ago going over the Tappan Zee Bridge, and then I heard it's not. Did they tear that down? The one in New York City. Hey, Beach Warming.
Which one?
I think Grace might know if it was the Tappan Zee Bridge they dismantled. Because that had 2 levels. Oh, and I think there was another train derailment today I heard on the news. $16 to go from where we are at Grace to New Jersey. Somebody would have to pay me to go to New Jersey.
I want to see the audit. I wonder if they'll release any of that.
Speaking of
audit for the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the stuff that was released on the JFK files yet? I haven't found it.
If it's released, that there's another group that has to make sure that it's safe to go out. So it's probably been released to them, and then they release it to whoever.
I don't think they found the missing airplane. There was a movie about, I forget what it was, about people in an airplane that went missing in Alaska in the same town, where the storyline was they were abducted by aliens.
Oh, you mean the series?
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually was a pretty good series. Netflix actually picked it up. I forget what the name of it was. They was flying an airplane and then it landed 6 years later or something like that.
That sounds like an episode of The Outer Limits or the original Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone, yeah. It's amazing how they try to come back with the Twilight Zone, and it's just not the same as
The original. The original.
I think it's what was that guy's name?
Rod Sterling.
Rod Sterling. Yeah.
And then he went on to do Night Gallery.
Yeah, he made that series too, though.
And some TV channels, you can even watch it on Pluto, the original, but they rarely show the 1 hour episodes from the fourth season. I don't know why. Because some of the fourth season was, I thought, better because the stories were more detailed than the first through third and fifth season.
Yeah, there's a story. Harris and Doug showed up at the Lakers NBA game and nobody seemed to care.
I guess you guys heard that they mentioned that the safety devices on the helicopter plane crash, the helicopter was turned off.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah, I'm not try not to talk about that too much because I don't think it's a good subject. There is a lot of, like I said, there's going to be multiple of them, and you're going to have to read between the lines of which one was the smoke screen and which one was the cover up.
It's gone to the point, if we watch anything on the mainstream media, the news, anything they say is just alleged.
Yeah.
Well, the way the media stretches things, it is alleged, right?
I need to rename my stream. The
alleged stream.
Alleged Bushcraft alleged stream.
Oh, no, allegedly both.
Allegedly, Bushcraft is allegedly streaming tonight.
Right.
And there's talk with all that earthquake activity going on that Greek island or whatever, that if they had an 8.0 earthquake, they could have a tsunami that floods the Gaza Strip, allegedly. Wouldn't that be something if that really happened?
Hard to say. I was kind of hoping Bubba would show up because I want to get his 2 cents in on this.
Because he's really in the know with what's going on in Israel.
Well, the thing is, if you read the Bible and stuff, and Revelation, there's the tower supposed to be built and all, or the temple.
Temple Mount, yep.
So, and this is allegedly Trump taking over that area. Somebody said that they wanted to rebuild the temple.
But that's for the Jewish people to decide.
Who decides that? And you think it's the people, or
well, not the people,
somebody else?
Well, then it's like this. Trump doesn't want to have Israel split in two, because I think he realizes what that means.
Well, when I look at it that way, I don't think Trump doesn't have a say in it. Just like there's this guy saying, and he's supposed to be a religious person and whatnot, saying that when the rapture is coming and this and that, and he's got the exact date and everything, and I'm like, nope, only there's one. God's the only one that knows when it is.
Well, one guy, I'm not going to mention his channel, he's been doing this for 10 years on YouTube.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
And they're calling Trump the one that's going to usher in the Antichrist.
Yeah.
And I found out I did some research last night. Okay, microchips in computers are going to be obsolete very soon. You know what's going to replace them? Photonic chips. Where a computer won't even need much electricity. With microchips, you have
talking about the organic ones.
now it's a different technology. Instead of having copper wires connected to each chip, it's just going to be fiber optic cables. The chips, light will pass through them, not electricity.
Oh, they already have that though.
They haven't perfected it yet, though. But okay, I think
I've got it in my computer right here.
NVIDIA is buying up a company.
That's my video card.
They
have it,
but they haven't done it on a large scale.
Yeah.
It's called, and the stock isn't publicly traded. It's called IR Labs. You figure they can do it with just a few chips, but
yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
But doing that in a whole computer is different.
They've already been working on this one too, by the way. Which once it's out there and they say they're going to work on it, they've already got it done. It's got to get popular, I guess.
Well,
I think that's their way of doing it too. Is they make the movies and stuff, and well, look at Star Trek in the '60s, the flip phones and stuff like that. Yep. Every kid was carrying around those little flip things.
Communicator.
Yeah.
Look what a tricorder could do.
Yeah. You sit there and look at all the stuff that was on that show, and like, used to be the doctors carried around charts where they had to mark down stuff. Now all your readings and everything show up on this little iPad that they carry around, and they can send you to whatever to get x-rays or whatever test needs done. They push a button and it gets done. And
yeah.
And that's Star Trek.
I mean, it's gone to the point with doctors' offices. If they lose the internet, they can't see the patients.
Oh yeah. I'll go get a blood test before I get home. The blood test, I'll get a message on my phone saying my test results are ready, except for the ones that take time.
So they got to send to a lab if they don't have the lab there already.
No, it's just some tests take longer to do. They have to set in, however they do it, in a petri dish or whatever.
Well, speaking of doctors, I mean, all the doctors' practices in this country are being bought out by companies.
Oh yeah.
The doctor my wife works for, they came out and told them, if we don't buy your practice, you're not going to get any patient referrals. They're it's almost blackmail.
Yeah, I know about the referrals.
But it's not like that in dentistry, like it is with regular medicine, like family practice or specialists, ear, nose, and throat doctors, or a heart doctor. But if someone has a practice on their own and they don't sell out to some company, they're not going to have any patients.
A little bit, BK.
Let me get a drink of water.
I haven't looked at mine for a while, but I heard about the crash. I used to show the bubbles. Oh, whoa, it's all red. me see here. Oh wow, XRP is down to 239. It was over $3. Oh man, my cat one went down 42%. It'll go back up though. Flare XR in the last 24 hours they went back up though. Songbird went up 11. I don't think it's going to be actual crypto, but it's going to be a digital currency. I mean, we're already there now. I mean, what did I say we were at? That it had to be, I think it's 12%. If we go, no, it's 16%. If we go below 16% of people that don't use currency, money, the paper stuff and coins, that it'll automatically switch to digital, and they'll get away with being able to get rid of the actual paper stuff.
Yeah, but Trump said he doesn't want to get rid of the, paper dollar.
It's I don't know who did it or what, but it's last time I looked into it, it was like at 16% or something like that. If it goes below that, then it's not credible to use a currency that nobody uses. So they have to go to digital, which, like I said, we're already there. It's just not official yet. I mean, we pay our bills on the computer, on the phone, and whatnot, and you get your checks deposited into your account. There's no actual currency being traded there. And once we get past that mark, it's downhill from there, because they have you hooked. All they have to do is use it against you, because you have no other means of getting money or food or water or housing. It has to go through that currency.
Because then they can track everything you've done.
Well, it's not tracking. It's like, well, Jim, you use too much fertilizer. Your global score is going to go down by 10%. What are you going to do about it? You can't do nothing. And then when you go to the store and you buy too much eggs, you go to open the door, and you're not allowed to. Your global score is too low. You've had too many eggs this month. Where are you going to get your eggs from?
I have to start raising some chickens.
Well, you can't have chickens. How are you going to purchase a chicken? See, this is that downward slope. If we go into that, the world ID and.
Well, Trump's against all that, though, he said.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. Trump's not going to be president for the rest of everybody's life.
That's why we got to get J.D. Vance in for 2 terms.
Yeah, and hopefully, I'm not saying, because you know how the government has been controlling how we drink milk and how we look at our birds being destroyed right now. Millions of birds being destroyed because they get sick.
Plus, allegedly, there's been more bird deaths around cell phone towers.
Oh, that's always been a thing because the frequencies mess with them, and they. Well, you remember when we were flipping a switch to go to 5G?
Yep.
Everybody says, "Oh, we're all going to die," and this and that. And before they flipped the switch, we were already past 5G. The government have already been using higher than that. China's like into 11G or something like that.
And the thing is, that could be affecting the environment way more than fossil fuels because
Oh yeah, it does.
those frequencies are a very large wavelength. I've been saying for years, if people found out their cell phone was causing damage to the environment, would they give them up?
No.
Well, that's my whole point.
Yeah, I did a video about birds,
Mm-hmm.
of all things, just birds. Uh, how birds, the population of the birds have went to almost extinct on a lot of birds. How the difference in how many birds there was 20 years, or I should say 40 years, because I'm getting too old, so it's 40 years now. There was billions of birds, different types of birds. There are birds now that have been gone for over 20 years that we'll never see again because, it could be cell phones, it could be, who knows, it could be the mystery clouds that go streaming by in
Yep,
the
I know what
sky.
you mean. I'll tell you, this cold weather's been hard on the birds when the ground's been frozen solid. How are they going to get any food?
Yeah.
Then another thing with birds, I think I know what caused it. When I took my dog out this afternoon, I saw a dead bird right next to my wife's car, and it wasn't there earlier because I would have seen it when I took her out this morning, the dog. I think a bird flew and hit my wife's car, the window. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
Because the thing's head looked like it was like smashed in.
Yeah. You just sit there and think of, when in New York, when they built all those buildings and said that it was going to ruin the birds for the rest of, because all the birds fly into the buildings and whatnot.
Well, I'm glad Trump's gonna. Speaking of birds and wildlife, I'm glad Trump's gonna end the windmills on the East Coast.
Yeah. If you go digging into the birds and stuff, oh man,
What if one day the birds?
it's sad. It's sad.
It is.
You don't see nothing about it.
It's ignored.
I mean, you used to see blue jays and cardinals even in the city. I haven't seen a blue jay in a long time.
I see him here in the spring. My wife was shocked last weekend. She saw a cardinal on a bush by the window in the front of the house.
I seen cardinals last year, but that's the thing. It's like you see one, and it's like, wow, I haven't seen that in a long time. And it used to be you would see them all the time.
I'll tell you, it's good to feed the birds. We have a neighbor across the street. Her husband died a few years ago. She puts out some really expensive bird food, and she gets I can't even remember all the names. She gets all these little finches and other birds that have really nice colors on them. And then with the weather we've had, anybody I know that feeds the birds, the deer have been getting into knocking over feeders and eating all the bird food.
Yeah, technically, it's bad to feed them all the time.
But in the winter,
yeah, you want to feed them when certain times when food is scarce, because if you feed birds like all the time, they're not going to go out and get the bugs and the critters and that kind of stuff. They're just going to stick around your house. Hey, this is a free meal.
hey, Sharon Woodmore and Lisa Parker. And the thing is, the worst thing people can do is give deer corn. If a deer has never eaten corn before, you know what happens after a deer eats corn? they get sick in their stomach gets bloated. After they eat it enough, they get used to it. But corn is not really a good food for deer. It'll keep them alive.
Yeah.
Because if the Pennsylvania Game Commission had their way, they would make it illegal, and they can't get, the state legislator and the Senate and any governor to go along with it. And it wouldn't even matter, because you go to some of these stores, Tractor Supply, bag of, it says deer food. Well, people give chickens corn, so they would just buy chicken food instead to give to the deer.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with chickens having corn, but you want to give them some other stuff in there too, so they get, because they need a lot of protein when they're laying.
Yeah, but corn is basically just carbohydrate,
and that's why, especially wintertime, because there's not the bugs and stuff around, and that's when everybody says that's the reason why they stop laying in the winter, is because it's cold. It has nothing to do with the cold. It's because they're the lack of protein. And wintertime, I used to give my chickens starter feed, because it's got a lot of protein in it. That you give your baby chicks.
Like, where does the protein come from in that, I wonder?
I'm not sure. I used to know, because I used to do the research on it, but yeah, but, and also you give them hot sauce or salsa, because they don't have no tongue, so they don't taste it hot or anything, but it'll actually kickstart them to lay again.
I didn't know that. I never raised chickens.
Yeah.
My grandparents did. My parents never did, though.
Another trick for chickens, if you have raccoons and possums and stuff getting at your chickens, put a radio on a local radio station or something, and if there is any anymore, and put it in the chicken coop, and it'll keep the raccoons and stuff away.
Allegedly.
Unless they like to dance or whatnot, and then it might.
Well, none of us are wildlife experts. We're just talking about this from our own life experience.
Yeah. Oh yeah, chickens will eat anything. Cat food, dog food.
You could probably give them chicken in a big chunk like tuna, and they'd love that.
Yeah, I seen this YouTuber. He kept feeding his chickens and ducks and stuff, and the dog would eat it, and that it's actually bad for him. It'll mess with the joints in the dog's back and their knees and stuff. I forget what it's called, but it actually says on some of the bags that keep it away from certain animals because of the grain or whatever's in it doesn't agree with other animals. And pretty soon the dog started getting a limp, and found out that it was the feed, because the dog would go over and start eating it up, lick it up off the ground.
Yeah, we give our dog we give our dog food, chicken and rice. And not the cheap dog food, the medium price stuff, the 4Health.
Yeah.
I mean, that agrees with her. And you can look in the container. Okay, allegedly my vet told me they're retired. There's a certain brand that's Urina. I'm not going to say the whole word. is loaded with sugar, and that's not really good for a dog.
Well, it's not sugar. It's that high fructose corn syrup. Why would your cat and a dog want that in their food? Let alone you.
It's the,
Why they don't care if it's sweet.
well, I think dogs do like sweet stuff. That's why.
Oh yeah, but
Sweet chocolate, that's not good for them.
like a sweet potato. My cats love sweet potatoes. Like when there was a cat food shortage, I was making their own cat food. When chicken was cheaper, I'd do sweet potatoes and chicken, mix that together. Oh man, they'd love that.
Just don't give them chicken wings. You don't want them to.
No, just the meat.
Well, the what?
No.
Actually, it's white chicken. The only reason I said that is because I had chicken wings for dinner tonight.
Oh, did you? Oh, see,
My wife got a bag that was on sale at Giant and put barbecue sauce on them.
we can blame Jim tonight. He started it. We didn't talk about food the whole night, and then you had to bring up chicken wings.
And the reason Dana B, I've given every dog rice is because shepherd breeds have chronic problems with getting the runs.
Yeah,
And
you have to watch the rice.
Yeah, only a little.
Yeah.
And you figure years ago they didn't have all the only dog food out there was basically anything that was made from corn. They didn't have dog food where it was chicken concentrate.
Yeah.
That was the main ingredient, like the 4Health or the Nutro and other brands.
East Coast wings.
I think it was a 2.5 pound bag of chicken wings was $4.99. They were frozen, but still they were delicious. Because you get fresh chicken wings, the price has just gotten so high.
Grace asked, what else did you have? Side.
Oh, my wife called me tater tots at Aldi, and one of those green giant vegetables with the broccoli.
Oh, okay.
Brussels sprouts with the corn or cheese on it. Sauce. Now, I love Brussels sprouts.
Oh yeah. Except for I don't like the frozen ones.
I like
they get all mushy. I like fresh.
Mhm.
So much better.
If you're gonna cook fresh, you got to include garlic in it and virgin olive oil.
Yeah. Or you can even fry it up like cabbage with bacon. Oh man. I like to slice them in half and then put them in the skillet. Oh.
That's what I was saying. Well, asked what the other night, because pretty soon with St. Patrick's Day being around, you're going to see cabbage and corned beef and pork butt everywhere. I know she's I'm fortunate to have her, Grace. I've known my wife since she was 17. 43 years.
Yeah, I got my chicken for 79 cents a pound.
Wow.
The whole chicken?
No, just leg quarters. Which, thigh is my favorite part anyway, so.
Yeah, thighs. I've always been a thigh man. Like Holly likes the breast meat, and I prefer the thigh meat. Plus, the vet said allegedly the white meat's easier for their digestive system than the dark meat.
Yeah, probably because of the fat content. I roasted. Yeah. Chicken wings are really good in the air fryer. Oh man. I don't get the frozen ones. I get actual chicken wings, and then season them up at night. The next day I'll cook them up.
Oh, my wife also got, because I had them on sale, colossal shrimp. I'm not sure when I'm going to be eating that.
Oh, I know what to do with colossal shrimp.
Well, colossal shrimp, you didn't get them in Texas.
I think she got them a giant.
Oh, good one, Bush. It was the Abilene special. Now, shrimp can be done so many good ways, and scallops too.
Oh, I love butterfly shrimp with the bacon in the middle, or else
Bacon,
just
bacon wrapped scallops are right.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite there.
shrimp with, okay, spaghetti, shrimp, olive oil, and garlic, or shrimp with breadcrumbs and olive oil.
Shrimp scampi.
Scampi.
Yeah. Yeah. If the scallops cooked good, I've seen people make them chewy, and it's like, oh, why'd you ruin
Yeah,
it?
you can overcook them so fast.
Yeah.
And the little scallops, the baby ones are better than the big ones. The big ones, you get large scallops, and they could be tough.
Yeah, but the bay scallops, they shrink fast. You know, you gotta, like if you're putting them in a salad, you gotta put like a quarter pound of them in because
Gump shrimp.
Eric, do you get fresh scallops? Like, do you buy your scallops from a grocery store? Do you go to a place that has like a market, which is?
I go to a seafood market or
He's in Florida.
That's what I mean, Dan. I had, because this year I had a few customers that told me they lived near Fishtown, and they said you really can't get. There's only any place to get fresh fish in Fishtown, that section of Philly.
well,
Yeah.
Here's a guy good.
I'm in Ohio, so
I can get fresh fish by myself if they fix the damn boat ramp.
there's a food truck that comes to Coshocton every once in a while, and they do a lobster thing, and
Nice.
you can get scallops from them, and they actually have it shipped in. They get a shipment once a week, and that does them for the whole week, and then they have it. And I can go along with a week. That's good for me. But you go to a grocery store or something in this area, and that fish is probably sitting there for 2 to 3 weeks before it gets to the store. So I'm like, most of the time they're frozen ones. There's nothing better than fresh seafood, though.
And the thing is, around here, I remember a few years ago, the Acme had lobster tails on sale. They were so little. One tail was maybe 4 forkfuls of meat. I remember once my wife and I think it was on our honeymoon up in the Poconos, your typical Pennsylvania honeymoon in the Poconos, went to a place called Split Rock, and there was so much. The lobster tail was so big, my wife could barely even eat hers. They were huge, but there must have been over half a pound to 10 ounces of meat inside that shell. It's like everything is downsized.
Well, it's because they're overfished.
Well, it's a shame that there was a Chinese buffet that closed during the pandemic called King Buffet. I never got sick. I could go there, it was all you could eat. I could easily eat 18 raw clams.
18 walls of clams?
18 raw clams, and they were huge.
Oh.
Do you guys like raw clams?
You think it's clams, though?
Yeah, they were clams. I took a liking to raw clams when I was a kid. When I was about 5 years old, my father belonged to the Knights of Columbus, and we went to a Knights of Columbus picnic. And there's one woman that was cutting all these clams open, and I asked, I was like 5 years old. I said, "What are those?" My mother says, "You won't like them. Don't eat those. You'll get sick from it." I ate one and said, and ever since then, I've been hooked on raw clams.
Yeah. I used to eat raw clams down here, but they had a bad breakout of.
That's what
I forget what it was. You get any little bacterium in a clam.
Is it like red tide or something?
Well, we got that. That's always not always here, but on and off. Now this was specific bacteria that was not good.
Not a normal thing.
No, so I don't eat any seafood that's not cooked.
Yeah.
I don't like sushi, and if you got a bad raw clam, Eric, it could be coming out of both ends of you.
Yeah, I mean, and there's the fish eggs. I don't know if I would even eat fish eggs anymore.
I think I had those once somewhere. Caviar,
Really?
disgusting.
Yeah. Well, was it from a real sturgeon, or was it where'd it come from?
I have no idea.
Salmon.
What?
Salmon.
Well,
Yeah.
I live on canned salmon. And then some people say it's probably got radioactivity in it from Fukushima, allegedly. Hey, it hasn't killed me yet. Eating pink salmon.
Well, it's not the radiation; it's the mercury that's in fish now.
Yeah, the pink salmon, red salmon, and jack mackerel have less mercury than any fish. They say it's safe to eat every day.
If you can afford it. That stuff has went up so much.
Yeah.
Well, Ollie's Outlet has it for $2.89. Then if you wait till you get the 15% off coupon and just like buy 20 or 30 cans of it.
I'll do canned tuna, but I don't. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't do the canned salmon.
Yeah, but the red canned salmon is. You figure most of the salmon at the grocery store is farm raised, where it comes from.
Yeah.
The red salmon is so tasty.
Yeah. My wife used to make salmon patties out of the cans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'd eat that up real good.
I put the cans in the refrigerator, and I prefer it cold, plain.
Ooh, I miss having citrus trees. When I lived down in Phoenix, we had a lemon tree, a grapefruit tree, and an orange tree, and the neighbor had a pomegranate tree.
Nice.
And I remember renting that house for $325 a month. Now it's that house probably about $2,000 a month for a 3-bedroom. Oh
yeah. B's got it. Those words sound right. Anchovies, the hairy fish. Eh. Deepwater fish are good too. Grouper, scamp.
Yeah, actually, that's where I had the
Red snapper.
salmon eggs was from Alaska. When I went up to Alaska, because I was dared to eat them.
I'm sure they were good.
I'm like, oh, this, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then like half the people are going making faces and stuff, and I was like, try it.
Well, the salmon eggs in a lot of the fishing industry, for the guys that fish the streams.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I don't like is the Cada salmon. It has too strong a flavor. This is Ollie's Outlet. I don't know if you can see the price on that or not.
No.
$2.89 a can.
This is $3.29.
Well, but then with the coupon, it comes out to like $2.89.
Oh,
They get 50% off. And this, okay, this tastes just like the for $1.99 a can. This tastes just as good as the It's probably the same thing as the Bumblebee Jack Mackerel. Like most people won't eat this. When you open a can of that stuff up, there's all this you can see like fat in it, and that's good for a person. That's all the good omega-3 fatty acids.
Now, does it, when you open up, goes,
Now it doesn't do that. And this isn't some of the canned Jack Mackerel is a product of China. This comes from Thailand.
hey, Jim, if I send you a can of fish, will you do a video of eating it?
It would probably be at lunchtime when I'm looking late. I've never eaten food on YouTube. What kind of can?
I think it's pickled herring.
I bought that in a can already. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but there's a can that when you open it up, it'll spurt air out, and usually everybody that I've seen that opens his can up doesn't get to the tasting stage. All it is opening that first little bit of that can, and everybody's.
I mean, this stuff is pretty tasty. Like I said, the lid of the can is, you see all that yellow stuff stuck to it. My dog would eat this if I gave it to her, and know that. I mean, you get so much protein out of a can of this stuff. Actually, you get 51 grams. I eat half of a can for lunch. You get 51 grams of protein out of one whole can of the salmon.
Yeah.
It's got
food for me.
Yeah, but it's got the cholesterol, but it's the good kind. And it's got the good saturated fats. Plus, you get 80% of your vitamin D out of each serving. My wife doesn't even like the smell of this stuff.
Yeah, that, like I said, that other can, it's like I've never seen anybody eat it, let alone open it up and look at a piece of the fish. It stinks that bad. I wouldn't even want to try to smell it. Now, I like the smoked oysters in a can. Those are pretty good.
I don't think I've had that.
My cats love them. Love the oil from it. It's actually good for their coat.
Well, you figure that a lot of this canned fish is probably healthier, I think, allegedly, than eating Spam is.
Spam? Oh yeah, Spam nowadays isn't what it used to be. I mean, you can make your own Spam. It's a lot better because that little gelatin stuff that's on the outside of it, well, not in the Spam itself, but
it surrounds it inside the can.
Yeah, the other stuff that you make homemade is good for you.
I have a question for Grace. What kind of dog food are you getting?
The blue one? Is it the blue one?
Blue Buffalo? Yeah, that's gone up in price a lot. I remember getting some of that for Holly when they had it like at a clearance price at Ollie's Outlet, and it was like a 44-pound bag, and now it's like a 22-pound bag, and the price is going up a lot.
What does vomit smell like?
Well, look at it like this. What is Trump going to do next week?
That's the beauty of it.
golfing.
You don't know. It's great.
I mean, Trump got more done in his golf game than Biden got done in a year of his whatever you want to call it.
And all those little girls were so excited when he signed that executive order, and you didn't see Trump smelling anybody's hair.
Sardines and anchovies with crackers.
Ooh. Dana mentioned before about kingfish and smoked mackerel. We got a really, really good smoked kingfish mackerel down here. Spread.
I prefer the sardines and olive oil. I don't like it. The olive oil just does some of the flavor.
The cottonseed oil is not too bad for the canned stuff.
And I won't buy any that in the soybean oil.
Yeah. Oh no, not soybean. I watch this one YouTuber that does the van stuff,
Yeah.
and she was wanting a Louisiana crab oil, and she didn't want to go out to a place to purchase it. She wanted to get the stuff to do it herself, and she bought a butt roast and that was already smoked for just a little piece for $20. And she bought a frozen bag of corn. I'm like, no.
Well, cook that butt roast with cabbage, and it comes out delicious.
Oh. Yeah, but not in a boil. Well, I mean, you could put it in a boil, but
Slow cooker.
and she just came from Louisiana, so I'm like, you should know what it is. And evidently, she went to the wrong place when she was in Louisiana to get one.
Welcome to Bushcraft Family's food channel.
Well, I've got emails that people want me to cook carnivore stuff now. Since I did that challenge for the 30-minute thing, I did a 30-minute carnivore soup thing, a hamburger cheeseburger soup.
I still like some of the hamburger helper dinners.
Oh. I hate that stuff.
I haven't had one of those in probably since '88.
My mother pushed that on me I'm done.
I remember the original hamburger helper dinner.
And tuna helper. Forget it. Oh.
I'm
sure it's good to some people.
well, it's like you get a little bit, and I'm like, for the same price, I can just put the spices and stuff in there myself. I can make my own cheese sauce, milk and a little cheese, and you got the cheeseburger, whatever it is for hamburger helper, the cheeseburger mac thing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger. But then you got to remember,
sounds good.
But then you got to remember, my wife and I, we don't eat out at restaurants. I think we might. My son wants to take us out for my next birthday.
Excuse me. I like to eat out.
I would never guessed. I seen a salad already today on there.
Yeah, that was at the Greek restaurant. Okay. Opa. One thing they don't have there, I keep trying to get the owner to get some shrimp in there so I can put some shrimp on my salad.
Yeah, I was looking online for an all-you-can-eat Chinese restaurant, and I found one place, and it's $30 per person.
Sounds about right.
It used to be a lot less.
Ours is 8 something, but you don't get shrimp. They do have some shrimp cocktails over there, but they hardly stock it. They used to have the coconut shrimp, which is one of my favorite, but now it's coconut chicken.
Well, before the King Buffet closed its doors, they had one at the Plymouth Meeting Mall. Okay, they had really good prime rib and the General Chow chicken.
All right. Well, we can do surf and turf. I can deal with that. Prime rib and shrimp and scallops.
And the raw clams.
Loaded baked potato on a
And they
bed of rice.
And they had the crab too.
I like crab legs, but it's like,
It takes so much time to get in the meat.
oh, you gotta crack that thing, and you gotta wear a bib so you don't get juice all over you, and then you finally get to it, and you get just a little strip of meat like that. And I'm like,
all that work for such a little payoff.
We got the stone crab, and
oh yeah,
when the season's on, you twist them, break them off, and then the crab grows it back. So it's a renewable resource, but oh boy, they're wonderful to eat.
Yeah,
Wonderful to eat.
I don't drink wine, Grace. My wife can't drink wine either because of her allergy to mold.
Yeah, Grace, I don't need any vino with my seafood. Although it's a little red or white's all right. But.
I like the really good organic fruit kind. I don't like the dry stuff.
That gives me a headache, that fruity wine.
I remember my sisters used to drink, because they were older than me, Boone's Farm apple wine.
Yeah, that's not really wine.
That's
drink a few glasses of that and you'll get sick from it.
That's normally found in the back of seat of a Monte Carlo.
No, that was Mad Dog.
No, it could have been the other stuff too. All depends on who's sitting there.
That's one thing everybody has in common. We all have to eat.
Well, we want to keep doing live streams like this. We got to eat, right?
It's
just the amount we eat.
I would love to eat one of the meals that is served for Trump and his family at the White House.
McDonald's?
Diet Coke.
Not the McDonald's, when the chef makes something for them.
Oh, he probably takes a couple bites and says, "Go get me a Big Mac."
Right.
Or no, he likes the quarter pounders, doesn't he?
I'm sure he gets some of those made by the chef.
His own quarter pounder.
His own quarter pounder, his own meatloaf. He's talked about how he likes meatloaf. And the thing with meatloaf is having a good sauce on it.
Oh yeah, that's that meatloaf sandwich I had last week or the week before. Well, it was last week. It was. It tastes like meatloaf, but it wasn't. It wasn't that good because I like, ketchup and brown sugar and some garlic and stuff in that, and then spread over top to where it bakes into that. Oh.
Okay, the meatloaf you had, who made it?
Oh, it was a restaurant.
Was it real meat in there, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The fries were good though. The main thing I wanted though was a salad bar. I got my salad.
You sure did.
wanted to go back and get more, but I was like, no, I better not.
What's your favorite beer?
Beer?
Oh, the one I have in my hand,
Free?
free.
What kind of beers are you drinking right now?
I'm not drinking now. I got
Okay.
ice water.
I think it was the last one I had was I still wouldn't call it a beer, but
More of an ale, probably.
I think it's Wild Orchard Tropical.
Yeah.
Tropical. It was a tropical one.
Heineken, St. Pauli Girl.
Because Mr. Cheddar mentioned Heineken. I wonder if he's ever drank Spaten.
Tasha, beer smells like pee. Man.
No, I love a good beer.
Absolutely. It's got to be ice cold, though. I mean, cold.
I put beers in the freezer, Eric.
Yes, absolutely.
I put them in the freezer, and sometimes they freeze a little too much.
It's all right to have a little slush on your beer.
That's the thing. My wife, because it's a Friday night, she had her beer already before she went to bed.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I haven't had a beer yet. It's too early.
When we did Jersey, my cousin had quite a bit of land, and we take the beer and just sit it right in the stream.
Oh yeah,
private land, and you know where you put in, that's where you put your beer in the stream, and then on the way out, if they weren't cold going in, they were cold coming out.
Yeah, I think New Year's I had a hard cider, hard something. It tastes like Kool-Aid to me.
Yeah. There's flavored alcoholic drinks I've never acquired.
Drink Kool-Aid.
Yeah, they make one beer that they make in Mexico, Tasha Hunley, is Dos Equis, and actually that Heineken owns Dos Equis now.
When I was out and lived in Phoenix, I liked Corona.
Yeah, good.
And back during the pandemic, the beer place I go to told me people were avoiding that beer.
We glitched. Are we still live?
Yeah, I can see my face now.
I can't see me because they're blocking me from watching YouTube.
I don't have the YouTube on because the computer's been.
I got it on my phone. You're fine.
Okay. I'm like trying to think, what did we talk about? We're just talking about food.
Well, let's. How about we talk about dessert?
Dessert,
because.
Oh, I had a customer give me some chocolate. He's a friend of mine, and it made its heads and tails above Russell Stover's.
Well,
how about I get it and show you guys the box?
a ticking sound.
My wife won't eat it because she's afraid it'll wreck her teeth.
I think it's Jim's.
Yeah, let me turn my camera off and see if it's.
I don't hear any ticking sound unless it's my heartbeat.
I heard something go for a long time. Tick, 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 tick. What is Mr. Cheddar wants to know? What is the source? Well, if your laptop explodes in 10 seconds, you know. So I want to talk about pies.
Pies.
Yes. Like
Oh, that sounds good right there.
apple pies.
Hot strawberry cobbler with vanilla ice cream on top.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna make an apple pie soon.
All stuff I can't have. I can have.
What do you mean you can't have it? You can't be on the carnivore forever.
Well, my cheat day is going to be tomorrow because I'm making chili. So
I never heard of this brand of candy before.
I haven't seen that around.
Right? I haven't
This
seen.
stuff is,
Have you had to go to the bathroom since you used it?
what, since I've eaten the candy?
Yeah.
No, this stuff is like, let's see if it looks like the Russell Stovers, but it's even tastier. Caramel nuts.
A cow pie. No, I think somebody got that dumped on their head earlier.
Well, I haven't worked any of my teeth yet with this stuff, but I forgot to look it up on the internet. I mean, this is tasty stuff. It's supposed to be like just like old-fashioned homemade candy.
Yeah, I could go apple pie made my way, nice and warm, almost hot, and then your vanilla ice cream, maybe 2 pieces.
One thing I learned is it's not good to drink coffee after having ice cream. That can get to your stomach. Yeah, I don't know where this was made, Grace.
Okay, I was seeing if that Trump or Biden doing this mouth thing was making a sound, but it's not. I'll mute it just in case anyway. C's is from California. Oh, great. Jim's going to start.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Is there?
Did you have some of this last week? Or,
I had some last night. I didn't get sick or anything.
Right.
no, I'm trying to track something down here because you were asking what size dress you would wear.
Oh, not that.
I'm trying to see if that chocolate had something to do with it since it's from California.
South San Francisco. Oh boy. I don't know.
Well, it sure tastes good. There's sugar, cream, corn syrup, chocolate, cocoa butter, milk butter, almonds. Contains less than 2% of the following: egg, whites, all kinds of chemicals in it. But peanuts, coconut, pecans, cashews, hazelnuts, walnuts, cornstarch, vanilla, salt, milk fat. I mean, the thing is, these people, they come out and buy a tray. Then 2 days later, they come and bring me candy.
Well, that's nice.
Now, there's some good people out there.
Oh yeah. Every once in a while, you run into one. And that's the sad part is, used to be they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was like you would run into a bad person every once in a while. Now it's the other way around. Bad's all over the place.
It's easier to find more bad people, I know.
Yeah, cheesecake's good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I can actually make a carnivore cheesecake.
I'm not a big cheese. I really don't like cheesecake. I never did. I don't know why.
The
New York style.
only thing, it takes a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
They are expensive.
Yeah. It actually takes a dozen eggs to make a small cheesecake.
Yeah, I didn't know, Dana B, that the coyotes destroyed the blackberries.
Oh.
I like coyotes. They're getting rid of some of the deer.
That's horrible.
And I've seen every now and then. A few years ago, I saw a coyote bigger than a German Shepherd out here.
Yeah. Watch out for that chocolate. Doesn't have LGBTQ seasoning in it.
Oh boy.
In what kind of way?
No way.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Is Russell Stover's safe to eat?
I don't know where they're from.
Well, I like Hershey chocolate. The
You
dark.
remember that show, Streets of San Francisco?
Yeah, with Carl Malden
Uh-huh.
and I mean, he was the main star, and Michael Douglas was in it.
That
Before he was a big what?
Starchy and Hutch.
Oh man. Boy, Chad is eating it up.
I'm not going to become a Fruit Loop, Grace. We get this year, every year we get customers that are Fruit Loops. And we had a few people out here this year that I think they changed something on them. Well,
Add or subtract.
Well, I had a male customer that had a very high-pitched voice and very, very big hips.
Don't eat the chocolate.
Listen, weightlifting will counteract anything.
Yeah, but you gotta. Oh no, I almost said it. Never mind.
Yeah.
And the smell of the fishing system, I don't think the Fruit Loops would like that either. I don't think certain kinds of people would eat canned salmon or Jack mackerel.
Oh boy, Jack mackerel. Where is this? This stream is going the same place it went last time we were up.
I figure eating healthy food, even if this isn't healthy, it's not like I'm living off of the chocolate. Eating healthy food can counteract, I think, some of the unhealthy foods we eat. Because I like potato chips, cheese curls. I think the funny thing is my wife won't eat any junk food at all.
Oh, the cheese things are one of the worst chips or snacks there is.
Yeah, lots of salt.
Cheetos. Those
What
things.
What about those Lance cheese crackers? Are they bad too?
I don't know, but the Cheetos is the worst of the bunch out of all because they've got a list of the unhealthiest snacks, and Cheetos is the most unhealthiest.
Wow.
Sorry for Cheeto lovers out there.
Thanks, Ziggy. I didn't know that. $28 for a pound of that candy.
Dang. I like the stuff over at Amish. They don't sell it, though. They only give it to certain people when they come in. Their homemade stuff that they bring in. Oh, that's good stuff.
Well, the friend of mine, Ziggy, that gave me the candy, he can more than afford it. I was at his house during a tree business to deliver the tree after hours, and he's got a refrigerator in his laundry room just full of imported beer.
Yeah. Plus, it's that synthetic stuff that they actually make it out of. I don't know about the poofy ones, but the Cheetos is bad.
Yeah, I remember the tree be charming. He got a 7.5 foot tall Douglas fir. I've known the guy for over a decade. He's the kind, if he likes you, he'll be generous.
Yeah, one beer I used to like was Red Dog because it was double the alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that.
That,
I mean,
that's
we like having
not a
beer.
thing anymore.
Nah.
They came back with it years ago, but they took half the alcohol back out. But I liked the taste of it. Normally, you just get when you're younger, you get the cheap stuff, Bush Light or
Right.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, Old Milwaukee. Those was the cheap beers.
Well, now the cheap beers are things like Jenny, Labatt Ice, and Natural Light.
Michelob Light used to be good. I don't know anymore though.
Mick Ultra is good.
I haven't had the Mick Ultra. They changed that. Remember the Michelob Golden came in a brown can and had a golden label. They don't even make that anymore.
I think that was Michelob or Miller.
Michelob.
Miller High Life. Yeah.
Yeah. Michelob in the brown bottle, that was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And the 90s.
My dad, because he drank in every state, so he used to say that each state had a different, and this was when there was not like 100 different kinds of beers. It was just the normal starter beers. And he said, like, in Colorado, Coors was real good, but if you go to New Mexico, Coors would taste bad
because the water was made out of.
Yeah, he says different areas it would be. He'd have to switch to a different beer.
Yeah, Grace, I remember Meisterbrau. My wife and I, when we used to drink Peels in 16-ounce cans, and then have a Meisterbrau because that's really all we could afford back then. And they retired Meisterbrau beer, and Peels isn't made anymore nationally. Somebody bought the Peels name, and it's being made somewhere in the New York City area, and it's not being exported. I remember when Yendling used to be a cheap beer, and look, Yendling has gotten so expensive. Like the Porter Dark or the I'll give you an example. The Porter Dark and Worcesterfield Ale 2 years ago was like $26.99 a case. It's like $40 around here now. You can still get the lager for about maybe $23 in 12-ounce cans. A whole case. And I remember when Genesee made a beer called the 12 Horse Ale. It tasted like a German import back in the early 90s, and then they stopped making it.
When I was in New York City that time, I ran across a block party and ate everything they had, and I was just walking by, and they said, "Come on in, get some food," and I'm like, "Huh, me?" And I went over and ate, and oh man.
The big question is, does Grace still drink any beer? I'd love to know that.
Grace?
Yeah, Mary, I remember Schlitz.
Oh yeah.
That's
They don't make that anymore.
No.
My wife asked, because just to reminisce, I have a beer we haven't had in 30 years, and they stopped making Schlitz. They brought back Schmitz, but it's called Schmitz, not Schmidt.
That's like cigarettes. Lucky Strikes, they don't make that anymore, do they?
Yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon. I don't know if they make Luckies anymore.
They make Pabst Blue Ribbon because I bought a 30-pack of that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was $21.70.
How many beers do you drink a week, Jim, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it all depends. I'll either have two 16-ounce cans or three 12-ounce cans and bottles.
Are you that person that gets a big old the beer mugs and puts it in the freezer and then pours your beer in? Okay. Yeah.
And we've been doing this for like, my wife and I, we've been doing this since 1989. And it hasn't killed us yet. And we never get intoxicated.
Well, that's the thing. It's
barley malt and hops. It's a meal.
There's a difference between somebody that goes out to a bar and drinks and then,
right.
You know,
I have friends, some aren't alive. They get a 6-pack. They would drink a 6-pack in about an hour. And then they'd be ready to get another 6-pack. Moderation is the key to everything.
But that in high school, that's what happened all the time.
Oh yeah, everybody would get mad because they'd be all thrown on the ground and stuff, and I'd be still drinking.
Like my wife and I have never assaulted each other. You figure half the people in this country. No, we get along. It's like the night she had, I forget what kind of soup she made for dinner. No, I'm lucky I have such a good wife. Oh, another beer. My father, when I was a kid, the beer he would get at the beer distributor, Schaefer, they stopped making that too.
Oh, that's cool. I bet you got a lot of stories there. I actually, and that's what got me hooked on the Cubs was
chewing gum or Wrigley chewing gum?
No, the stadium,
baseball stadium, Wrigley Field.
Yeah,
I was making a joke. I assume none of us are in chat are going to the Super Bowl.
I saw today, they said the average price, not average, it's $7,500 for a ticket.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would like to go to the stuff on the outside, all the things that they do have on the outside and stuff. I've seen YouTubers go and film it and stuff, and they get the all kinds of things that they give away and games that they can play and stuff like that. I think that would be fun. Super Bowl itself,
they already know the outcome.
Already seen it last year and the year before. And
are the Chiefs going to win?
It depends who
I
they
knew
do.
that, Jim. I'd already had my bets down. It's I don't
What's
know.
the score going to be?
I don't know the over and under. You got to look it up.
Who did they say who's going to be halftime?
Did he?
Oh, I thought you were serious for a minute. No. They're letting him out of lockup.
So Charmy's going to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, they got New Orleans locked down big time. I've never seen so many MRADs and Humvees and all over the place.
Some rapper is performing. Oh man, are you serious? It's another woke one.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
They had to get the Beatles to perform. Do it AI holographic.
How they? Oh, okay. How are they going to do this? There are only two left, isn't there?
Yeah, Ringo and Paul.
Yeah.
You figure just like any of these performers that win a Grammy, it's not my kind of music.
Times change, music changes. Good music always stays the course, though.
Well, somewhere down the road, the music we like will be considered classical music.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
I grew up with parents that, okay, on Saturday nights, it was either on at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, the Lawrence Welk show.
Well, yeah, I've had to watch that. And there might be people that like that stuff, but the movies that they sing and stuff, I cannot stand those kind of movies. I'm like, who in their right mind goes, like something happens and everybody gets together and starts dancing and singing? I'm like,
remember that TV show
that's not a
failed?
movie.
Remember the TV show that failed on ABC called Cop Rock?
No.
Where the cops and the DAs and the judge would sing in the courtroom?
Oh, that's why I probably don't. If anything starts singing, I turn it off. I like music and everything. I just don't. And I'm gonna get hate for this one, like Hee Haw and
I like that.
Grand Ole Opry. Now, if it's just music, I like listening to music, but I don't like sitting there watching music. I don't know what it is. I've been to so many concerts. I love going to concerts, but sitting and watching it on a TV, I just can't get into it. It's just, I don't know.
I mean, some people, when I was a kid growing up, my sisters just loved the movie West Side Story and would sing some of the songs playing the piano together. And I thought the movie was boring.
Like Fame, you remember that show?
Yeah.
That was okay until it
Later seasons.
Yeah, and then they started singing everything, and
well, Jesus Christ Superstar, I like the music from that.
Wizard Oz, that wasn't bad. I mean, you have the Monkshin song that was good.
Well, some of the songs from Willy Wonka weren't bad. The ones where the little people were singing.
Oh, ooh, I almost did it. That's a no-no on YouTube.
But singing the song?
Yeah.
Is it all right to say little people?
Well, I don't know. No, it's the actual. You can't.
Who was that guy that got you in trouble, Bush, for doing that?
And I like the original Willy Wonka over the one with Johnny Depp.
Now we're back to that one. Okay. Footloose.
Footloose. That was good.
That was Kenny Loggins, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was a good show or movie. I don't know about the new one. I haven't seen the newer one. Because what got me was they had Quiet Right, even though he got pulled over and.
One thing I've noticed, there's people that are in our age group that in the 70s, they weren't into the rock. They were more into the soft rock. And from what I've seen of these type of people, they're more of the liberal mindset.
I was into the heavy metal.
I mean, these type of people weren't really into listening to Led Zeppelin.
Oh, I
They were,
was.
they were more.
Then I'm not a part of that group.
Yeah,
But I listen to everything now.
same here. I keep trying to get Kayla to do some classical, because she's really good. She played some classical one night and on the piano. She switched it over from keyboard to piano, and it was really good.
I bet.
And that was the last time she did it.
Well, the females that were big fans of Joni Mitchell and Joan Baez in the late 60s are real lefties still to this day.
Oh, yeah. And one of the best things to go Halloween was Eddie.
The song goes, I've looked at things from both sides now. They've only looked at things from one side, if you ask me. And if I would play any of that on YouTube, my wife, just to hear what their voice sounds like through one of the stereos I have, my wife would leave the room. She can't. She cannot stand the sound of their voices whatsoever.
I'm leaving.
Holy.
Well,
Or Helen.
rap, I can listen to rap as long as I guess you would say PG, because when they use the words to demean women and stuff like that, I don't get into that kind of stuff. No. That's one thing my grandpa, he could cuss and this and that. If he heard somebody use a B word, ooh, they didn't use it again. And he says that if he heard a man use it on a woman, he wasn't standing anymore. No matter if he was joking about it or anything, the person would be on the ground. That was one of his main things, never to disrespect a woman no matter what. Because he was real close to his mother. He would tell me stories and whatnot that he would protect his mom and whatnot when he was 11, 12 years old. Well, it's that time. It's 11 o'clock.
I'm going to take the dog out right now. I'll be back in a minute.
We're almost at 3 hours.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was one of a kind. And I wish I would have paid more attention to his teachings when I was younger, while he was around, because so much knowledge was lost. But we're supposed to have 101 tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So
Allegedly.
allegedly. So hope to see you guys tomorrow at 101s.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, definitely. And we will catch you on the next one. Everybody have a blessed week.
Okay, let's go.